I posted a video this morning on Instagram of me just cutting the backstrap out of a whitetail. And I've posted similar videos before and get death threats through Instagram and stuff. And
Seriously?
how dare you do that kind of thing to innocent animals? And, what if someone did that to your kid and stuff like that, right? It's crazy the stuff people send you.
That's intense.
Because of that. Oh, it's ridiculous.
This episode is brought to you by Zing Media Co. Zing is a social media marketing company that helps small to medium-sized companies and organizations that want to make a positive impact in their communities. If you're in need of social media marketing, then reach out to Zing. Contact the team at zingmediaco.com.
Hey everyone, my name is George Orihinalis. I'm the executive producer of Saved and Tatted and the creator of Radio Faith. If you've been following Charles and the Saved and Tatted show for a while, then you know that this show used to be on the Radio Faith YouTube channel. But you're here now and you see that Saved and Tatted has its own channel. Saved and Tatted is still part of the Radio Faith family, but Charles and I have been planning some new things for SNT, which means it's going to grow and it needs its own digital space. Also, Radio Faith is making plans to produce 2 new shows, which will be part of the Radio Faith family alongside SNT. I'll tell you more about those 2 new shows at the end of this episode. Thanks for taking the time to check out Saved and Tatted. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell to be notified when new episodes drop. Go ahead and let us know what you think about this episode in the comment section. And if you think someone else needs to check it out, then click the share button and send them the link. Thanks again for checking out the episode. Now I'm going to stop talking because I know you're here to listen to Charles. God bless.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Saved and Tatted show. I have a buddy here, Cody. Man, so this is actually our first time getting to sit down and chat with each other. Yeah. I know we've kind of, our relationship started on Facebook.
Yeah.
And so we got to, get a glimpse of each other's lives and stuff through social media. George kind of, I don't know if I would say introduced us, but I know he's a mutual friend of both of ours.
Right.
And so, man, just tell me a little bit about your life and what you got going on and everything.
Man, so I don't know how far back you want me to start. So I was
However
born a little bitty baby, red hair.
El Rojo.
By year 2, I was eating solids, and man. So I really don't know where to start or any of that. But growing up, lived in Cypress, played baseball year round.
That's what's up.
We moved out here to Fort Bend County. I think I was going into 8th grade, so that would have been. Oh, quick math. I don't know. Like
2023 messed me up. Once they put that 2 went to a 3, all math skills went out the window.
Yeah. So we moved to Fort Bend County. I don't know. It was like 2003 or something like that.
Okay.
And then went to Terry out here, and then.
Oh, you went to Terry?
Yeah.
I did not know that. When did you
08,
graduate?
Class of 08.
You know, it would be Michelle Turrubiate?
Yeah. Michelle was younger.
So it was Michelle, Amy, and Lauren.
I don't know. One of them was older. One of them was younger.
Well, Amy and Lauren would have been older, but Amy would have been 2006. Michelle would have been 2009, I think.
Yeah,
Those are my cousins.
Okay.
Yeah, they got the lighter side of the family.
Yeah, definitely.
No, man. But so we were talking about George earlier. That's how we kind of got to know each other a little bit on social media and everything. But y'all attend the same church?
Yes. So we go to Calvary.
Have you always been a church goer? Is that something?
No. So growing up, like I had said, I played baseball year round, and Sundays were championship Sundays, right? Oh, wow. So, I mean, if your team's in championship games, you're not making it to church Sunday mornings, you're playing baseball.
Yeah.
And so that's where I was just about every Sunday. My grandfather ordained, preached in prisons. Oh, wow. So, there's biblical background growing up. Our parents instilled it in us, but Sundays were at the baseball field. That's where we spent it. And it wasn't till high school, really, where we were going every Sunday and all that. And I ended up meeting my wife at our church.
Oh, wow.
Her dad's a deacon. Her grandfather was a deacon. Her parents were married in the church. And so, they're lifers at Calvary,
That was at Calvary?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah,
okay.
at Calvary. And so we met there, and then I guess that was my senior year, I guess it was. So late 2007 when we got together, and then kind of went from there.
That's awesome, man. That's good that y'all
Yeah.
got to grow together. So
Absolutely.
did she come from a family of faith or?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So she grew up in the church, been there her whole life, only church she's ever attended, you know. And
Oh, that's
me,
amazing.
I was new. I was the outsider, you know.
Yeah.
That guy's bad news, you know. But no, they were very open to having me around and let me stick around and be part of their family.
That's good.
And it's kind of, I don't know, seeing everything from the outside, you know, growing up not in church, not daily in church, weekly in church, you know, seeing that now, raising my kids that way, it's pretty cool getting to see that, you know.
Yeah.
My oldest gave her life to Jesus this past summer, and that was
That's awesome, man.
such a cool experience. I
Yeah.
was hunting this past weekend, and one of the guys that helps the guide I was filming for, he's a big follower of Christ. Never met him before in my life. 66-year-old man, and we got to talking one morning, and it's funny how God just gets brought up, you know, in little
man.
conversations,
Yeah.
little things here and there, and then he's like, "You're a believer, aren't you?" Just called me out. It's 3:00 in the morning. He's like, "You're a believer, aren't you?" I said, "Yes, sir." And man, he gave me his testimony. I gave him mine, and man, we hit it off. And I got to tell him, you know, about my oldest giving her life up and all that. And next thing you know, like he and I are just standing there crying like idiots, and
Oh, man. That
everyone's looking at us like, "Man, what's going on over there?" And we're like, "Oh, this is what's happening." And some of them aren't followers, so like they couldn't grasp the whole situation.
Yeah.
But conversations came up later, and we got to explain faith and kind of
That's
give
awesome, man.
give them a little background into it and whatnot.
So I know from seeing on Facebook and stuff that you're a big time hunter.
Yes.
I mean, is that you have a hunting? Was it a YouTube
So,
channel, a company?
Yeah, we've got the YouTube channel. We're just figuring out how to film and edit, really, or I am. But so my brother and I created West Texas Outfitters.
Okay.
That's what it's called. We take vets and first responders, like that's our focal group. The background and how we got to that, real quick. One of our grandfathers founded the ranch that we hunt on.
Okay.
He was one of the founders out there in the 70s and or I'm sorry, in the 80s, 83. And that's when our hunting club was founded. And then so we grew up hunting on that ranch since we were little kids. And then our other grandfather, 20 years in the Navy, 20 years as a Marine, retired from the service, and that's where his life work was. And both of our grandfathers would do anything for anybody. Anytime they could help somebody, they were doing it. So my brother and I were at the ranch one evening trying to talk about hunting and how to make it more than just about us and just hunting. You know, how do we make it bigger? So we merged the two together, you know, take the ranch, take vets first responders, 100% free hunts. There's no charge, there's no nothing to them, right? So they get their hunt license already for free.
Yeah.
So bring them out to the ranch, and we've had a guy out that only had one leg. We were able to accommodate that. We're working on a thing this summer with a buddy of ours to do a double amputee butchering class hog hunt where they come to the ranch, learn how to butcher hogs, but they'll get to shoot them while they're there. We got a big pig problem, so
I think everyone does.
Oh yeah, all of Texas has a pig problem, you know.
Does, man. Oh, that's pretty awesome, man. No,
yeah,
that's good to hear. I know a couple of buddies that have some hunting clubs like that, and it's really awesome to hear, you know, giving back to first responders. My family is a big, you know, my dad was a cop, my cousin's a firefighter, my other cousin's a cop. You know, we have veterans. I'm a veteran, a couple of my family members. So that really hits home when people are able to do stuff like that. It's really good that you're able to give back in a way that not only that you can enjoy, but you're able to pull someone in. And, you know, when you go and do those things, or at any point of those times, do you actually get the chance to, like, share your faith and stuff like that?
Yeah, so the deal is the guy that we do a bunch of this stuff with, his name's Jeremiah Dowdy, and his his branding, his everything is from field to plate, where he takes hunters and teaches them how to take their animal from the field to make a meal out of it.
Oh, well, that's pretty cool.
And one of my best friends, I was talking to him on the way in here. But the deal is, when we're together, when these classes are going on, when these hunts take place, when an animal gets shot, we stand there and we give thanks to God. Doesn't matter if you're a believer or not, you're going to stand there while we do it. And then those that don't know, those that haven't been around the class or whatever, everyone makes their plate, and whether it's breakfast, lunch, or supper, whoever gets their plate, and if they go for the quick first bite, you get to pray, bud. Yeah. And so it's not pushed, it's not hammered, it's not any of that. We try to make it enough to plant a seed, to get questions asked. If questions asked, hey, all bets are off, and you get it, you get to hear, but we're not going to force it down anyone's throat.
No, that's good.
Until they ask a question.
That's good. Do you have any stories that have come from that, being able to change someone's life, or anyone, finally opening up and asking those questions and stuff?
Man, not yet. Not at on any of our hunts. Jeremiah's had several people on. He's been doing this for a long time. But we haven't got into that with anybody yet. We get little questions here and there. Where's your faith coming from? Why do you give thanks? And every animal that's shot, why are you praying about it? Why? So we give that bit about it, but we haven't brought anyone.
Oh, that's good, man. Yeah, we have a friend of ours. They have something like that, and I've told him before, like, dude, going hunting and being able to sit there with someone, that's probably one of the biggest opportunities you have to be able to preach the gospel.
Absolutely.
You'd be surprised how many, I'm sure you know this, but for those who don't, like, you'd be surprised how many people open up while hunting. Like,
oh, yeah.
You're in a moment, your guard's down, like, depending on what type of hunt. I know I saw you, like I was telling you earlier, I saw your video of y'all in Matagorda.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Freezing.
It'd be hard to talk to someone in that freezing water. Yeah, freezing. Bro. That looked crazy cold.
Yeah.
Crazy cold.
It was pretty chilly out, but.
Did y'all come back with a lot?
Yeah, I think those guys, they shot, so they had booked the trip for Saturday and Sunday, and I think they left out of there with 50 or 60 ducks in their group. So it was pretty good showing of the birds, and the late season birds, they're harder to hunt just because they've been migrating for the last 4 or 5 months, and they've been shot at the whole way. Yeah. So they're kind of leery flying over different places, but they showed out pretty good, and guys did pretty well.
So I know you said that you met your wife at Calvary.
Mm-hmm.
How has God, or where was it that God actually kind of made a turning point in your life where you're like, you know what, I'm all in. Like, this is what I'm going to do. And do you think that's what came of or benefited you with this hunting group that y'all have?
Yeah. So, I got saved. It was my senior year after Mandy and I started dating. Mm-hmm. I had never gave my heart to God or any of that before. It hit me on a Wednesday night while the worship was going on. At that time, the youth got to worship Wednesday nights in the worship center, and full band and everything going on. And I walked up and talked with Zeke and gave my life to God. And then the first person I told was Mandy. Mm-hmm. She was the first person to know. And at that time, I knew what we had wasn't just, dating or whatever. Like, there was going to be a future with it. It was going on from there. Mm-hmm. And, it was amazing moment with her. And then, man, just as time went on and our relationship grew and everything, we went through some rough times. Every relationship does, right? But, and it's funny, I bring this up and we make jokes about it now, and people that aren't aware of situations that we've gone through together and whatnot, it kind of makes it real awkward for them. Mm-hmm. But I get a kick out of it every time, and we laugh about it. But so after we got together, I proposed to her for the first time. See,
the first time,
the first time I proposed to her, we went on a summer mission trip to New York.
Oh, wow.
We put on a summer camp for some kids at a church up there, and I proposed in Central Park on some friendship bridge from the show Friends. I don't know, and but I proposed on this bridge, right? The whole group of us that went on this trip were there. There's photos taken. It was great. And then we get home and, wedding plans start right then.
Yeah.
We got 2 years till we're going to get married. We got the date picked, but we got 2 years to plan it. But we started planning it right then, And there's a lot of input from a lot of people, aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, and just everybody wants to give their opinion and get involved, be part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Mandy tells it like it didn't last this long, or it lasted longer than it did. I feel like it was a very brief time, but I ended up calling the wedding off, completely shut it down, and so we split up. Like, not just we're gonna remain engaged, but like it was complete split up.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and a few months later, we ended up we stayed in contact, steady talking, trying to work through whatever was going on in my head.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it was all at. Talked to her mom all the time still, and her dad was reaching out, talking, and trying to figure out the whole situation.
What was going on?
Yeah, and man, a couple months later, I finally got my head on straight and got everything figured out between my ears, and we got together, started talking, and then the second time I proposed was in the barn of my parents' barn. We were back there building some stuff, and that was the second time I proposed. And then 3 months later, we got married.
Oh,
There's no long, drawn-out process.
wait
It's
this
like,
time.
I don't care about people's opinions. I don't let's have the wedding and get moved on and be done, and
That time,
the way it
the
went.
time, the first time that you proposed and y'all ended up separating, were you in church at that time?
yeah.
And was that a difficult?
Awkward? Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, it was very awkward.
Y'all both attended still?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we saw each other every Sunday. It was a pretty awkward time. Yeah.
And did y'all get inputs from the church and people in the congregation?
I
and
didn't talk
stuff?
to nobody.
No one.
No, I shelled up and I don't want no one's thoughts, opinions about it. Nothing.
Wow.
That's how I am. I'll get closed up, and
Yeah.
I'm
No, I
not
know.
taking your input. I don't care what you think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna figure it out myself. And
I'm glad y'all were able to work that out, man.
yeah, me too. It's the best thing that ever happened to me,
That's
without
good.
a doubt.
You say you got how many kids?
3.
3 kids.
Yep.
And I'm assuming that you're the disciple of your household, and
Yep.
you try to bring your kids in the faith and in the church as much as you can.
Oh yeah.
They how old are they?
They're 9 and 6.
Ooh, 9 and 6.
Yeah.
This is a pretty good age. Mine,
They're fun.
I got a 2-year-old, and that dude is like.
I don't miss it.
You ever watch what is it, Incredibles?
Yes.
You know the baby that
Oh,
turns
yeah.
into fire and everything.
Yeah.
That's my 2-year-old for sure.
Hey, so I had 2 of them at once. I had twins that way.
I wanted
Oh
twins for the
my
longest,
gosh. I
and then
used
I
to
saw
joke
people with
about it.
twins, and I'm like, nah, I'll
Man,
pass.
I used to joke about it. Like, it was fun. It was a funny joke. It's not funny when it really happened, though. I was like, wait a minute. I was kidding, kind of. But, man, they're fun, though. Like, they're polar opposites, but very much alike all at the same
really?
time.
That's cool.
It's wild.
That's what's up, man. So with your hunting group and everything like that, do you see a bigger extension in a mission type of thing with church and stuff like that? Are you going to continue to approach it the same way that you have been? Do you see any bigger ideas in the future or anything?
Man, I would like to. I love hunting, right? If I could somehow make it a way to make money and that be my life, I would do it in a heartbeat. Like, I thoroughly enjoy being outdoors, taking people hunting, and getting them involved and learning all of that, right? And seeing how that works for them. It's funny, George and I had lunch, and I had filled him in on what we were doing and how all of it worked, right? And he even brought it up. He's like, man, that'd be cool to get people in different churches, get them out there and learning it and all of that. And I think it would be awesome. Yeah. I don't know how to go about that yet. I haven't. Where we've got to with it so far, I honestly don't know how it's happened. Like, it's just, we just kept reaching out to people, finding people, getting them hunting and getting them going on it. But I think it would be awesome to be able to do that and take I don't know,
It'd be good to get
Not
like
just
a
members.
Bible plan or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, there's
be
so
cool.
many cool ideas. I mean, I think, just to kind of go off on a little left turn or whatever, but I think society right now just kind of shows men that, like, being a manly man isn't one who shows emotion, isn't one
Right.
who, preaches the gospel. You're almost like an outcast now as a Christian. That
Absolutely.
society is more susceptible to not believing than believing. And so I think a lot of guys kind of get turned off by the idea of, hey, you know what, we're going to talk about our feelings in like a small group or a church setting.
Yeah.
Man, I think hunting would be an awesome way to just get some people to go out there and just loosen up and,
It
get
breaks
them in.
people down.
Oh, for sure.
It really does.
Mother Nature is so weird on how, dude, just being out
100%.
there. I mean, I've been hunting. I wouldn't say I've been hunting a lot, but I've been hunting a couple times. And just, living in that type of atmosphere, dude, it does something to your soul for sure. I mean, you can find God anywhere, in your car driving to work, at your house, in your living room and stuff like that. And I believe that you can find him, hunting and stuff.
Yeah.
I know you got those people that say differently that,
Oh, yeah.
with animals and guns and,
Yeah. I mean, we get messages, I wouldn't say daily, but we get them pretty often.
Oh, yeah?
I posted a video this morning on Instagram of me just cutting a back strap out of a whitetail. And I've posted similar videos before and get death threats through Instagram and stuff. And
Seriously?
how dare you do that kind of thing to innocent animals? And, what if someone did that to your kid and stuff like that, right? It's crazy the stuff people send you.
That's intense.
Because of that. Oh, it's ridiculous. But the whole hunting industry as a whole, and I wouldn't say like we're in the middle of the hunting industry, but we're there. I mean, we're part of it, but everyone gets that. I mean, every hunting page that has any kind of followers gets death threats sent to them.
That's crazy, dude.
And people don't care. Like, there's people firing off these messages without a care in the world, saying they hope that happens to your kid, stuff like that, right? It ain't even right, but man,
that's
like
wild.
You get people out in the woods and out away from stuff, like it opens their heart, and it really lets people inside, not people, right?
Yeah.
But it lets God inside to where it just starts getting their brain going and everything, and they start wanting to know more. And
I think it's about slowing life down, man.
Yeah.
We live in a society where everyone's so fast paced and on a hurry. Fast food restaurants and everything's at the tip of your fingers with your phone.
Yep.
And so I don't think people really take the time to just stop. To just stop
100%.
and take in what's going in. That's a really awesome idea to run with that, I think would be a real successful thing, man. And, any way Saved and Tatted could help, hey, we'd be more than happy to,
we'll do a Saved and Tatted hunt.
You ain't got to tell me twice. We go right now. Cut the cameras. No, that'd be awesome, man. It's been a while since I've been out. I know it's crazy because, you talked about how in Matagorda, how the water was really cold and everything like that. But every single time it gets cold, like that's the first thing I can think of is like, man, it'd be a nice morning to just wake up and just be freezing. Yeah, freezing your butt off like this. Then you get the
awesome.
The hunting jitters and everything.
Yeah.
Man. No, that's good. So
cool.
what do you your wife, when y'all met down at Calvary, you said that her family had been going there for quite a while and everything. When y'all had that split up, was there any second doubt with her? I know you said that her family kind of kept in touch with you, and I'm just trying to get an idea of where your faith came from and everything. But was there any point in that time where her parents kind of like were skeptical about, man, is this guy really into it? Is this?
No, like they're like, you take your time.
Oh, that's
this
good,
is
man.
what's needed for both of you. Like, you are both in the right spot. You are gonna work through it. And they stayed on me and stayed with me, praying over the phone, like stuff I had never been through before. With somebody outside my family just wanting to pray with me. Like it, I was like, what's happening? What's going on? It's bigger than the moment. It's bigger than me. This is God's plan working through me, and I get to be right in the middle of it. It was crazy. I'd never been in that spot before, and to see God's love through it, like it made more sense to me at that time, you know.
Yeah, that definitely shows the culture of your church, though, man.
Yeah,
that's good for people to be able to be there for you and allow you to have that time to be able to gather yourself and basically get your head on right to figure out what it is that you need to do. I know church hurt is something that a lot of people deal with right now, and and the type of how quick churches are popping up left and right, and people moving from season to season. So it's good to have that healthy relationship with people that that are around and that are there for you. When you take the veterans hunting and everything like that, is there like a way for them to, like, people reach out to you? Do y'all pick? Is there a way that people can reach?
So we do a lot through the Danny Dietz Foundation. That's the foundation we've kind of like latched on. We donate to.
Okay.
We donate hunts to them, to auction, raffle, whatever, to make money, to raise money for the organization, because those are the types of folks that they help, and they cater to those folks. But that's really the main one. They could reach out. We've had people reach out to us through Instagram, hit us up on Messenger on Instagram or Facebook, whatever. We get all those messages. Our emails are all on the website and everything. That's really the easiest way to get in contact with us. But that's really it. I had my phone number on the website, and then I would get like 6 to 10 phone calls a week from just like,
hey, I want to go.
I'm Randy from Alabama. I want to go hunt. Like, well, it's a Tuesday.
Well, Randy, you're going to have to chill out and wait.
Sorry. And because we put it out there that it's free, like, everybody
is wants
to take advantage of that, right? So we're hoping to move it more towards amputee vets, because it might sound bad, but there's so many organizations that help veterans. Like, there is, but there's not many organizations that can accommodate amputee vets. And that's bad, because like, those guys need just as much help as anybody else. So the way we hunt, it's not really your traditional sit in a stand type hunt, which we have them, but we've got top drive Broncos that we cut the top of the cabs off of. So it's like a pontoon boat. So it's stairs going up the back of it. If you can get up top, you can sit there all day long and hunt from up top while we drive, right? It's not sitting in one spot all day long. It's covering 36,000 acres. So we have ways to accommodate more than just a veteran that wants to go hunt. If you don't have any legs, we can get you up top. If you got one arm, we can get you up top.
That's good.
That's what we're hoping to move towards, to get more amputees, because there's less opportunities.
That's good, man.
Unfortunately.
What all do y'all have out there that y'all are hunting?
We've got whitetail. Apparently there's a big mountain lion problem. I don't know.
What?
Yeah, there's been several mountain lions seen on the ranch just this year, or this past season. There's Aldad. We've got a bunch of fox, coyotes, different predators like that. Jackrabbits, cottontails, rattlesnakes.
All day.
Just whatever.
A 22 and a flashlight and you're good.
That's right. We just ride around. You don't need a flashlight. I got lights all the way around.
Man,
the whole truck's covered in lights. You just drive around at night and
pick them off.
Yeah, get the rabbits.
That sounds pretty bad. Pick them off.
No, it's fun though.
Can we edit? Can we edit that? George is like, nope, it's staying.
That's got to stay.
Yeah, no, man, that sounds like such a good time. Yeah. Do y'all, you say that you and your brother have this, and if it were to make money, you'd love to. What do you do as far as when you're not doing that? Yeah, your day job.
I make roads. I make roads. I make subdivision streets. So neighborhoods.
It just sounds exhausting.
It is. I make roads everywhere from Kendleton, where we're working right now, all the way north of Humble to Conroe to Texas City. That's everything in between.
How do you separate your and I asked this just because I asked a buddy this one time, because I know, like, right now you're saying, like, amputees is the one that you kind of, your heart's kind of pulled towards. How do you exactly go about separating the fact of, man, I'm a Christian, I got to give, this is something that God's telling me to do, to, okay, man, I can't accommodate every single person that's blowing up my phone. I mean, Are y'all selective on how y'all go about things?
We are. Because we can't just take everyone.
Good.
I can't run a background check on every single person to find out what's going on and all that. Like we've got to be very selective. I mean, we're on a ranch with 22 other members, right? So we have to make sure who we're bringing out doesn't interfere with somebody they have or anything like that. So we have to know more about the people we're taking. We have to get some background. So it's usually like, my buddy's a vet, and that guy has a mutual friend with me. So I'm taking, one guy that's a veteran out, and a mutual friend between he and I is a really good friend of mine, right? So it's a group thing at that point, to where it's not just me and one guy that I've never met in my life going out 400 miles from here.
Gotcha.
In the middle of nowhere,
we've heard stories, so everyone knows
it can be kind of hairy.
Yeah, it can be, man. And and that's why I think it's so ideal, and so the opportunity is there for those who really need to hear the word. I mean, sometimes some of the biggest challenges that people face is not just the ongoing struggles of like life itself, but that inner turmoil. Like, we talked about this on the previous podcast with a buddy of mine who lost his arm, not in the military, but he lost it at work. Yeah. And he had said that he was a faith-filled guy, like had a full relationship with God, was saved and everything. But when that happened, it really tested his faith. Right. But in the process of it, he ended up having a child a couple, maybe about 2-3 years later, maybe longer than that. And he realized that him having that issue of being amputated, his arm being amputated, had to slow down his life. It gave him the patience and the patience and the grace to be able to take care of a child, you know? And so I think a lot of people tend to forget that, just because veterans go out and, they're portrayed as tough guys and, they go out and do all this stuff and everything, that they're not hurting sometimes, Right. And there's nothing more than having a relationship with God to fix a lot of those issues that,
absolutely,
that people have going on, even, absolutely. Even like I've got friends who are veterans who, being a veteran myself, like having friends who came back perfectly fine, having friends who didn't even see war, they're still dealing with things that, that you wouldn't even think twice, about with anyone else. And so, I just think getting God to anyone as fast as we can in any way that we can is a real good thing to do. And I think what you got on your hands is a really good idea, man.
We're hoping.
I love hearing about it. Like I said, any way that Saved and Tatted can help out, we'd be more than happy to. Maybe we can link up and do a collaboration, definitely, or something like that. Definitely. Maybe get a Saved and Tatted podcast, but
at the ranch.
At the ranch.
Yeah.
George,
do it.
Set it up, George. Go ahead and pack it up.
Right,
we're gonna take this out. No, man, but it's a pleasure getting to meet you for the first time. I mean, I know that, like I said, our relationship kind of just been on social media and everything.
Right. Yeah.
You liking my stuff,
That's
trying
right.
to slide in my DMs.
I make sure I hit like on everything, put a little heart.
No, man, but I appreciate you coming in and sharing a little bit of your testimony and letting us know what you got going on. Is there anything else that you want to let people know as far as what you got?
You can find us at West Texas Outfitters on social media. That's really
good. We'll put a link.
That's it. I'm simple, man.
Hey, that's good. We'll put a link right here.
Right there.
George hates when I do this because it's a lot of editing for him. But George, I would like this link
make
to
it
be
slide
right
across.
Yeah, make it like a gunshot. All right, can we do that? We're gonna make it happen. George is a man of many talents, but awesome. Well, I appreciate you having me, man. Let me pray us out.
Yeah.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for Cody and what it is that he is doing. We ask favor over him and his brother and his family. We ask favor over this hunting group that they have, God, that may they find just the right way to introduce you and the gospel to all those who come and visit, God. That may those who enter the hunting grounds, feel the presence of you as soon as they step foot there, God. That may, for whatever reason being that they decide to open up, may their hearts be softened. May everything go in your favor, God. We ask that you continue to bless him, continue to bless his family. We ask that you watch over those that are watching the podcast, whether it be on the road or at home. May you continue to be there for everyone that continues to serve you, God. We thank you for all it is that you do. We pray all this in your almighty name. Amen. Appreciate you coming out, man. I hope to have you back.
Absolutely.
Everyone else, subscribe, like, comment, and share. Okay, cut. Okay, we're going to add this to the front now, George. So, Yeah, no, you have to. Because now I'm just talking a lot. I can't believe I forgot this. So, Cody, do you have any tattoos, man?
I don't.
No well, that was easy. We need to start finding people who have tattoos, George. There's something going on.
You've got George finding all your people.
Yeah. You know what it is?
Yeah.
This is a true story. See, this is what needs to happen, okay? New ideas are happening right now. We're going to get a tattoo artist to come. And for those who are on the podcast and they don't have tattoos,
they get one.
They get a tattoo. Can we do that? I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of paperwork and like insurance things, but you got that covered.
I was going to get my wedding ring tattooed on me.
See, you should.
I've smashed this hand, and like building old cars and stuff, I had to go to one of these little rubber rings.
I've seen someone.
Because I've half degloved this finger once.
Bro.
So, like, it would have been smart.
I've seen it on the rig where people's fingers just go completely because of wedding rings. I have to wear mine because this is the first thing my wife looks at whenever we shoot podcasts, and we learned that the hard way. Getting text messages. Oh, yeah, bro. That's not a wedding ring. I forgot my wedding ring, literally had another ring, flipped it upside down, and I had my hand like this the entire time. And as soon as she's like this with the camera, zooming in. But, no, man, I appreciate you coming on. I hope to have you back. I'm sure we will.
Yeah.
That's it. Cut. Bro, that was horrible.
Hey, it's George again. At the beginning of this episode, I mentioned that Radio Faith is working towards launching 2 new shows this year. Radio Faith is a company that produces Christ-centered content that makes an impact at the intersection of the church and culture. Saved and Tatted moves that mission forward through the raw conversations that Charles has with his guests. These 2 new shows we're working on will provide the same type of space for these type of raw conversations, but in a more nuanced way. The first show will be about sports and the second will be about music. Both sports and music are a large part of cultures around the world. We want to provide digital content that engages these areas of interest and connects both sports fans and music fans to God. To stay up to date on when these shows will be released, subscribe to Saved and Tatted and then jump over to the Radio Faith YouTube channel and subscribe there as well. Thanks again for supporting us along the way. I hope you have a great day. God bless.